Hi, this is rFactor 2 at Oregon Raceway Park, and I'm not there, but I wish I was, and this is how I would probably practice for it. rFactor 2 is one of my favorite sims. I like the way it drives, like the sort of vehicle dynamics for some of the cars anyway. This is a Skip Barber Formula 2000. It's like a Formula Ford. You can see in this particular track, you start out in the paddock. I have never been there. I don't know if this is what the paddock looks like. Anyway, also the audio I messed up. I was supposed to be narrating things in this game, and actually my mouse is moving sometimes, but I fucked up, and the audio is just really low, and so I'm just overdubbing this. And apologies if you hear my voice coming through on the other one. It could be annoying. That's what it is. Alright, so first time around here, I'm just going to point out a few things, and then we'll see a burner lap after that. So lots of off-camber, lots of blind stuff, lots of extreme braking zones. It's a pretty cool track, I have to say. This is like one of the most extreme braking zones. You have to brake so hard, and then it's an over 90, so it's like, whoa, and off-camber a little bit, so you have to go all the way around. This one here is probably the most important complex on the track to get for speed for your lap times, because this corner right here, near turn 5, that's so important to get this right, because it opens up this whole part of track. So you really want to be on throttle at the outside before you turn in, so that you can really get going through that part of the track. This is probably maybe the scariest corner on track, because you come through in here at high speed, and if you go too high speed, you'll end up in the crap out there on the right hand side. And this, which is like one long decreasing radius corner that's going uphill and then downhill, must be the most fun thing. It's like one really long braking zone if you take it like that. These little S's are just going to drive through the middle of them. And then, again, a little bit blind. There's a little bit of traction loss here. And then again into a blind braking zone that is, so there's an uphill there you could probably use to help your braking. But I wouldn't try and set up really far on the outside of that corner, because I think if you did that, then people would pass you. This is starting to head up towards the main straight, which is just over the rise here. These corners are pretty uninteresting, but this is a super important corner. If you don't get this one right, you'll suffer lap time, because you really want to be able to be on the gas there. But on the other hand, if you were to go into the grass and drop a wheel, you would come across the track, hit the K-wall, and smash. So that'd be terrible. Here's a burner. As you can see coming in here, this is not a type 1 corner. There's two little straight afterwards, so it's really about maintaining your speed as much as possible. This one's a type 1 corner. You really need to get rid of all your speed, then build it back up again. So typical late apex line there. Coming on down to this one, again, super hard braking zone, type 1-ish corner. But if you were to set up way out on the right, like I'm doing here, probably people are going to sneak up on the inside of you. And just as you're going through the corner like that, vortex of danger, you get T-boned or whatever. That would be terrible. Here, if you overspeed this corner, you'll up over on the left, and then you can't get over to the right, and you need to get over to the right to be able to hit that right there at high speed. As you're coming up over the top of this hill, your car will get light, and if you're turning while you do that, you might oversteer and stack it. Okay, coming over here, high speed corner. Next one, the guts corner. This one, like you come through here and lose traction like that, and you're not ready for that, that's the end of your stint. Long braking zone coming up over the top. Whoa, 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 whoa. Love it, love it. This part here, just if you also go too fast through this, you could end up over on the right and miss your next opportunity over here. So you just want to go with the right speed that you can straighten all that thing out. Here, there is some traction you can lose there. If it was raining and rear-wheel drive, you'd be concerned about too much oversteer there. Here, you probably want to brake right before the crest of the hill, because after the hill it's downhill and you'll have less braking. It depends how much grip you have on your tires. Again here, I could see other people trying to sneak up on the inside, So you got to be careful when you're racing versus you're doing time trial stuff of people invading your vortex of danger. Don't let them. And this one, it's so much of this depends on getting down to that apex, so that when you come out of there, you can track out, get the biggest radius possible. Alright, there we are. Okay, now switching over to Assetto Corsa. It's the Formula Ford Mark 14 Russell Lexus. And as you can see, this model is gorgeous. I mean, look at the mirrors, look at the cockpit, look at the tires, look at the suspension moving. Woo! Track is nice too. So these were produced relatively recently. The rFactor 2, both the car and the track are pretty old. But these were produced in the last couple of years. The ORP track is actually brand new. It's still in sort of a revision stage. It's not a final stage. But I think the car is probably complete. So some of the same things as before we'll talk about. So yeah, coming into this sharp one here, you know, you wouldn't want to be setting up too wide on that one if you had people behind you, right? Vortex of danger, all that kind of stuff. Here's that most important corner where you really got to get back over to the right to open up this radius here to give you as much speed as possible. As you're heading over this hill, suspension gets light. If you were turning, you can spin. So you would want to do that. Here's a super high-speed corner, and ideally you can take this without, you know, getting off the throttle too much. And when you come into this one here, whoa, if you go too fast, yeah, you could do that. So work to the wise. And then this whole long decreasing radius, it's like you could be just sliding around that whole thing, just mostly coasting and decelerating from coasting. That sounds like fun. A little bit blind and a little bit slippery. Like if this was raining and you were to come up here and really gas it, you'd probably spin in a rear-wheel drive car. This part coming up here, the uphill provides part of the braking, so it'd be nice if, depending on your traction level, you might want to use that uphill as part of your braking strategy. Yet another corner where, you know, if it was raining and you got on it too hard, you could slide out here. It's a little bit blind, a little bit off camber. And this coming up now to the main straight. And this is such an important corner for speed because you really want to open up the radius as much as possible. And you're coming in pretty hot, so it's a lot of speed. But if you were to drop a wheel and then overcorrecting and smashing across the track on the left and hitting the K-wall, you just wreck yourself and possibly other people. All right, here's a burner lap. And again, into this, turn 1 is a type 2 corner. In fast, out slow. You want to keep your speed as much as possible. There's no straight top maximize here. And here, I think because you're coming in on soft short straight, that it's probably pretty safe to be setting up really wide and making it a really good late apex corner. Get as much drive out of it as possible. But this next one down here, if there's people behind you, you probably want to close down the entry a bit and not try and go as fast as possible, but put people on your rear bumper instead of on your rear wheel. Alright, this is that most important corner to throw away. Get over so you can get back. And then really power through this thing, keeping as much speed as possible. And if you were to enter this next corner more from mid-track, you just have to make sure that you get as much far over as possible so that you can set up the next corner. And that's a high-speed corner that I remembered last time I sort of messed it up, but this whole complex here, it looks like absolutely fun. Here, straighten out these guys as much as possible. You don't want to overspeed that first one or you wouldn't be able to make the next one. And here, once again, really finding that, probably depending on the car, just being in the right gear here, because that's coming uphill, you want to climb out of it, that matters. Here again, using that uphill. I wouldn't set up wide on that brake zone, otherwise someone might try and spear you. But the track is shaped in such a way that you can really stay on the left-hand side and then it opens up for you. And almost done now as we come around to the main straight. On the one hand, you don't want to get too close and hit the wall on the left, but you definitely would want to hit the wall on the right. I mean, you wouldn't want to go off track on the right and come back and careen off the wall on the left. Alright, there it is. For those people who are racing in this, enjoy.